Calling the meeting to order of July 18th, 2016. The first order of business is to choose an acting chair. Someone can make a
Nominate
motion.
Gary.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have
You're
it.
not really allowed to be opposed. So. Okay,
Okay.
take it away.
First order of business will be the minutes from the July 5th meeting. Is there a motion or discussion?
Make a motion to accept those minutes as
Okay.
read.
I
Motion
second.
and second by Marion. Any changes to the minutes?
No.
Okay. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed the same. Okay. Road foreman's report.
Yes.
You've got it? Oh, yeah, I've got it. Never mind. Okay, roads. The roads are in good shape. The crews continue to haul gravel to the roads. We have been doing some ditching on the dirt roads, and we are putting runouts, and so water can run off the roads when it rains. We will be replacing culverts as time permits. We will do some brush cutting. The F-550 should be back soon. Otherwise, the equipment is running okay. Paving. The paving of Dover Road and Auger Hole Road will be done the 1st of August. We're replacing a culvert on Jack Hill, and we are taking out a rock that is sticking up from the blacktop. We will be paving approximately 2.5 miles this year, and we will still have some money left. I would like the board to start a paving account in the capital budget, so if we have extra money, it can be used for next year. Jones Hill culvert project, I'll be working with Shannon to get prices on replacing 80 feet of 3-foot culvert. Hope to have prices back by next meeting. Auger Hole Road rocks. We have to get an excavator up on Auger Hole Road to remove some big rocks that have fallen right next to the road. Rocks are so big that our backhoe can't lift them. Vacation, I'll be on vacation July 21st to August 1st. There will be a listing of things for the crew to do while I'm gone. Christopher will check in daily. The eye there is Todd. Kenny Pond Road retaining wall. We will need to start the tree cutting on the retaining wall, then put fill on the downside of the retaining wall and slope it so as to stabilize it. I think we put around $10,000 in the capital for that project. Are we getting a bid together for that with Shannon so it can be sent out and hopefully done this year? That's the end of the report.
Make a motion to accept the road commissioner.
Have a motion to
I
accept. Second. And any discussion?
No.
None being, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed the same. Okay. Perfectly. Lieutenant Oliver walks in just in time.
I planned it that way.
Yeah, good for you. And congratulations on the new building.
Thank you. We opened today.
Yes, I read that.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
Oh, good. Good to hear.
So, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Lieutenant Tim Oliver. I just took over this area in June from Lieutenant Paul Fabro. He's moved to greener pastures. He's running the task force now, so I will be your person of contact. Barracks opens today. We closed Brattleboro Friday, sort of. We lowered the flags there for the last time. We lower the flags at Rockingham tomorrow. Rockingham Barracks will move into Westminster on Wednesday, and Thursday we begin operations as a consolidated barracks, the Westminster Field Station. So that'll be providing coverage for this whole area. So things are going smoothly as possible, I guess. The one main thing that will be different is the troopers won't be in the barracks as much. They'll be on the road. They'll have mobile data computers that they'll be using, so there'll be much quicker response times. Obviously, you folks have signed a contract with us, so we have that in effect. I saw a couple activity sheets the other day saying the troopers are working the details. So I just wanted to introduce myself to you folks and say if there's any problems whatsoever, reach out to me directly. You can call me, email me, whatever the easiest means is, and I'll make sure it's addressed.
So is dispatch remaining here or?
Dispatch is going to Westminster as well.
911?
Everybody, 911, consolidated dispatch, they move in on the 25th, which I believe is Monday.
Okay.
So they'll be in, we'll be all one big happy barracks. The Rockingham and the Brattleboro barracks will be defunct. They're being turned over to individual parties, so we'll all be in the barracks. And if anybody ever wants a tour, feel free to come up. I'd be happy to give you one.
So people calling for an emergency won't be told anymore to hang up and call state police?
No.
That's good.
Yep, you're right there with us.
Excellent.
So E911.
Do you have a new contact phone number just for office?
You know, I do. I'll have to email it to you. I haven't memorized it yet. It's 722-7050. I believe it's on my business cards, which are in the
Okay.
cruiser, but I will email it to, is it Shannon?
That's me, yeah.
Shannon, I'll send it right to you. I
Great.
have your email.
We'll put it up on the website.
Sounds good.
Let's see.
Yep, and that'll be effective on the 25th as well. 875-2112 or 911 will work until then.
Having done this a couple of times in municipal government, the transfer is always perfect on paper, but when dispatch starts to move, things get a little crazy
We've done
sometimes.
2 tests.
Yep.
We've had them go in there, and both of them have been flawless. So hopefully it'll stay that way. But
We'll do whatever we can to help you guys out,
we
because we're glad
appreciate
you're
that.
here.
Yeah, thank you very much, and so am I. It's exciting. So we have this is the largest barracks in the state with the largest amount of territory to cover. So it should be interesting. So.
Where in Westminster will you be?
So it's called Westminster Heights Road. So probably the easiest way to get there is if you get off the interstate at exit 5. If you're going northbound, you take a right-hand turn, quick right, and you can't miss us. We're on the left-hand side, right before Green Mountain Power, the big solar station there.
Yes.
Right on the left-hand side, you'll see our brand new shiny sign with the flag posts and everything. We are having an open house coming up in August. We don't pick the date for that. We're told what date it is, and as soon as we have that, I'll put out a media blurb saying, hey, it's an open house. It's for the public.
Yep.
So be happy to have you come up and visit then as well. Or, if you don't want it to be that awful busy, let me know. I can sneak you in. I have a key.
And if you get us that date, we'll make sure it goes out.
Will do.
on One of our meetings.
Send it to Shannon as soon as I have it.
Yeah, great.
How's that sound? Good?
Yeah, it's a nice facility over there.
Oh, it's great. It's amazing. Today was really, I got my stuff unpacked and was able to look at the ins and outs of it and stuff. So it's supposed to be open in May, and here we are, but it worked out well.
Yeah, we did the site work over there
Oh, no kidding.
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's a neat little place.
And they had a little snag on the stormwater, but,
I think we got it fixed.
yeah.
So.
Boys were over there today cleaning out a couple of manholes, but other
I
than
saw,
that,
one of the guys came in when I was there saying he was
Yeah.
here to clean out the manholes.
yeah.
So-
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility. It's
Oh, it's
all pellet fired wood
I
and
saw the
stuff.
big hopper out
Good.
there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, state of the art. So,
So you
It's
said
also-
it's the largest, you're covering the largest area?
largest area, largest barracks, most amount of manpower that we have in the entire state.
So where are you covering, which towns?
So all of Brattleboro's prior area and all of Rockingham's prior area. Yeah, so we go up to, pretty good distance on the interstate, mile marker 59. And all the way down.
Fishing games are good, right?
Fish and Game is in the building. We
Oh,
have,
really?
they have their own little satellite office in there. So a couple wardens will be stationed there. So, great place.
Yeah, that's nice.
And as you're also going to try to, from this station, provide better service to Wardsboro, Londonderry.
I met
And,
with Wardsboro Select Board meeting probably about 2 weeks ago. I told them, I promised them for the first couple, I can't do a contract with them because it's hard to fill the contracts we have. We have 8 contracts now. That doesn't include AOT. The interstate for the bridge. So I couldn't promise them a contract, but I promised them directed patrols. So my troopers are getting out there as much as possible. That's a drive.
Yeah.
So I told them to head out there, stay out there. They can hang in Jamaica, shoot down to Wilmington, come up through that way. So hopefully be a lot more visible.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, it is good, yeah, you see on the back roads and stuff like that too, so.
Yeah, the one
That's
thing
what we wanted mainly.
The one thing I'll tell you is a lot of times we are out there, you just don't know it's our cars. We have a large amount of unmarked cruisers because Wardsboro said the same thing. Oh, we don't see you. I'm like, oh, we're there, and I knew for a
No, I
fact.
said we do see you.
Oh, you do see us now.
We
Yeah,
do see you
yeah.
out and around the road.
But sometimes we're out there and you don't know it too. We
Right.
got some unmarked, so we got some,
Which, I said, that's why we went with the state police, because we wanted people traveling the back roads, just,
Right.
so, like I said, you take the outlaws, if they don't see a cop once in a while, they know they're gonna break in,
Oh, sure.
And as a business owner, I can tell you, I feel a lot better now, knowing that if I had to have service, I'm much closer to getting that service than having to wait for you to drive over here or being told that we're too busy, we don't do that.
Right.
That's important to all business owners in this area.
Anybody ever says that to you from the state police, you call me directly. And that's what I want to make sure is Shannon has my email address. I have my cell phone on me 24/7. I respond to my emails right away, to the chagrin of my wife sometimes, but 24/7. And any hiccup, any question whatsoever, don't be afraid to ask. because I can't do anything unless I know about it. And covering the largest area, I gotta have the input from the town so that I know how to react.
That's very comforting for
Good.
all of us,
Good.
not just business owners, but all the residents.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah, anything at all. I mean, Londonderry, I got a great relationship with Londonderry. I started a contract up with them. They have 25 hours a week. And I email the 3 gentlemen on the policing committee weekly to make sure that we're doing what they're looking for. And that's not just the 25 hours a week, but also the rest of the hours that we owe them coverage anyways, because we're the defunct law enforcement agency. So anything you need, you just got to let me know, and I'll make sure, to the best of my ability, we'll get it accomplished.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Are we getting periodic reports? Okay, good.
And I'm not sure how Lieutenant Favreau did that quarterly.
I believe, although we would get at least a small report with the invoices.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, but what we have is called an activity report. So every time one of my troopers does a detail, they have to fill out an activity report that says exactly what they've done. Londonderry, I give them weekly reports, and the other towns with the contracts, I do quarterly reports. So you just let me know how you want them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of heavy lifting to do that, but I can do it. I can give you weekly, monthly, quarterly, however you want it. Just
I
to
think weekly might be a little overkill.
Yeah, I agree, especially with the limited hours you folks have. But if you wanted a monthly, I could do that. I do Andover monthly.
That'd be great.
Yeah, just send me an email. That's
Okay.
I got the early stages.
No problem, so do I, so I'll make myself a note to email you.
It gives us the fodder when folks say, what are all those green cars doing up here now?
Right.
And now you know exactly what they're doing, because
Yeah.
they're not just doing speed. Everybody says, "Oh, troopers, speed patrol." They're doing in Londonderry. We're doing building checks, foot patrol, park patrol.
Really?
Oh yeah, absolutely, and surveillance. I got detectives doing surveillance too.
Good.
So
That's great.
whatever you need, just let us know.
We will do it.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Great to meet all of you.
Thank you very much.
Anything else for the
Okay,
lieutenant?
thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
And good luck with the new building.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Next item is Planning Commission, and looked like we don't have anyone here for that, okay. Steve sent us a letter regarding the Williamsville Hall. Thank you. With the Williamsville Hall Committee plans to hire Rob Cramp, a very skilled carpenter from Williamsville, to work on the following projects at the mall. Check all windows to make sure all lower sashes are operational, replace any broken components, and replace sash locks with donated hardware from Walter Phelps. Ensure that all interior doors close properly, weather strip all 4 bathroom doors, and weather strip the outside doors. Repair holes on the lower section of the north exterior wall and replace rotting trim boards and clapboards at the same location. The estimate work is around $1,400 to be paid in full with the funds from the Williamsville Hall donation account at no cost to the town. Thank you, Steve Levine. Any discussion?
No.
I think we ought to thank them for coming up with the money to do the work there. The building is important to us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's okay for them to do it?
I guess we'd need a motion on that.
Make a motion that we approve that they spend the money used to do the repairs in the Williamsville Hall.
Okay, have a motion to expend the money, got a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Next item. Unscheduled members of the public. We have no scheduled nor unscheduled members of the public, so we'll move on. New business, the 2016 audit scope of services.
It's that grayish.
This is from Sullivan, Powers and Company. It just details what they're going to be doing for their audit process this next year. And it's pretty comprehensive. Do we need to read the whole thing into the record?
I hope not.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions or discussion on this?
No.
Are we looking for an action? Approval and signature, okay. So we need to consider this. Are there any questions regarding what we are asking them to do or any changes to this document that we want to make?
I didn't have any recommended changes.
And they will assist in preparing our financial statements, related notes for the town. And hopefully this will clear up the outstanding audit reports problems that we've seen in years past.
The findings that we
Yeah,
get?
the findings.
The one that always remains is the balance sheets, and
Correct.
balancing.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the way that June hits July, there's always that last one doesn't balance. And so my suspicion is that we will get that same finding again. But at least now the balance sheets are being reconciled every month. So we may not.
I know that citizens are always very concerned when they read the statement in the
Yeah.
town report. And even though it may be purely functional in that our business year ends and the new year ends and there's balances that are floating between the 2 years, it would be awfully nice to have a concise explanation for the voters.
As to why.
Absolutely.
So I think this year will be different in that we are having them reconciled monthly, which was not happening before. And so I'm wondering if it might just be a journal adjustment this year and not an actual finding.
That would be good. Whatever we need to do to clear this, I think the voters really would like for us to get this off of our list each year, because it makes us look like that something is happening which is not right.
Right.
And even though it may be just procedural, it'd be nice if we did it the way that the auditors
Yeah.
wanted, just to clear it up.
And this year it happened again in that it wouldn't
Yep.
balance, and we actually called today to say, but we didn't accept it in until July. She said, "No, that's just the way it happens. And so it doesn't balance and we can't change it, we're sorry." So
Well,
I'm wondering if it's sort of a conflict between NEMRIC and the way the auditors are auditing.
exactly. Auditors are working to a very tight, very specific schedule.
Yeah. So-
And understand that, but I think the voters are hoping for an explanation as to why this keeps showing up.
Yeah.
Okay, then we're looking for a motion here.
I'll make a motion to,
Have a motion from Mike, second from Marion.
yeah, second.
Any further discussion? None being, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstain? The ayes have it. Municipal checklist of internal controls. This was also part of the same process, wasn't it?
This is a different one. The state of Vermont in 2012 enacted a law that says that each year by July 30th, the treasurer must fill out that checklist and present it to the select board. The select board must sign acknowledging receipt.
Okay,
That's-
we don't have to approve it, we just,
You just have to
sign off that
acknowledge
we've
that you're
acknowledged.
receiving it.
I have a copy in my hand. Do you
Of
have a
course, it's
copy
always
yours?
best to review it, and if you have questions,
No.
this is the time to notice that maybe something isn't as you thought it should be, but you don't have to approve it.
If the town budget did not remain within budget, do you know why not? That's marked, don't know.
Because we haven't had an audit yet, so we
Okay.
don't know how we finished
We won't know
up.
that until the audit comes in, all
Right.
right? Does the select board receive monthly financial reports? Don't know.
Is that the one I highlighted because I thought it was odd? Oh, maybe.
It's hard to
you
see the
wouldn't
highlight
know.
on mine.
Yeah, I don't see.
The original's
Oh,
there.
here it is.
Oh, okay,
Highlighted.
got it. Yes, that one is the one you highlighted.
I think it was an error. I think that was supposed to be a yes.
So who filled this out, the auditor or?
The treasurer
The
has to
treasurer,
fill that out.
okay.
But I know she emails them every month, so
She does.
I
Yeah.
think that should have been a yes.
That should have been a yes then.
Yeah.
Okay. Does the town receive monthly cash allocation reports if a pooled cash account is used? Don't know. I guess we'd have to look to the treasurer to find out exactly what that is in reference to.
Yeah. I think it's more of a don't understand the question
Yep.
than a don't know the answer.
I don't know that we have a lot of cash accounts.
We don't.
We may have
Shut
some,
that alarm off.
we may have some revolving accounts. All right, let's move on. Okay, does anyone else have any questions?
No.
There are some no items that are not yeses. If your annual audit was the most recent opinion unqualified, and no, then we know why, and that's because of the change of year balances that are not brought to penny balance for the year-end closes. And that's because there are expenses that are still outstanding that we have not received,
Right.
and therefore we can't pay it if we haven't received it. So the money runs over from one year to next. Okay. The other, which is no, is has the town become aware of any fraud, embezzlement, mismanagement, or theft? No.
No.
I think we'll count that on
That's
a
a
good
good
thing.
one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Do the employees who handle cash also post the activity? No. Well, that's a good thing too. That's a good safeguard to have. Are the checks prepared by a separate person from the signer? No. Because our treasurer is elected, I'm not sure what we might do about that, but that is an area where that normally that's a safeguard to have, that the person who prepares the check does not sign the check.
We explored the idea of me signing them instead. I don't know if that's. I think it was just easier for her to get them out quicker.
Yep.
But
I think it also, that's a safeguard that is not in place. It'd be good to have that in place, just to eliminate any questions.
so that might be a good one to maybe invite her to a meeting.
Yep. And are voided checks recorded? No. That would be a good thing to have, all voided checks. I'm not sure why they would not be recorded, or at least held for the
I think
auditor.
they're kept. I don't know that they're recorded anymore,
Okay.
but I think she holds on to them.
Are checks ever written to cash? No. That's a good thing.
That's a good one.
Are records protected from fire, theft, and manipulation? Is that right? Manipulation?
Manipulation.
No.
That's correct.
That we need to correct that. Her position over there, this is not a fireproof building by any stretch of the imagination. It's not secured from theft. While it may be secure from manipulation, the checks and the office is not locked in a way that we could guarantee that. And we should be able to guarantee that going forward. Do the employees who handle cash or prepare checks reconcile the bank statements? No, that's good. Are prior outstanding checks and deposits showing as cleared each month? No. So that means we don't necessarily come into balance each month with what the bank says, because we still have checks that are floating.
Right.
Okay. Are school, highway, and grant monies in separate accounts in the ledger? Yes, okay. And that, okay, we have more. Other controls to cash or risk, and the don't know category. First of all, has the town established a policy regarding unrestricted fund balances? And that's checked explanation. And is there an explanation attached?
No.
Okay, that'd be good to know why. Again, on the don't know, are the duties of officials and employees clearly defined? Well, that's the person who filled this out was the treasurer, and that would not be her responsibility to know these things. Is that correct?
I mean, she should have one on
Yeah.
her own, and I believe she does not. So
That
she
should have
have
actually,
one.
that should have actually come over to you or to the town clerk.
Right, and this is an odd checklist.
It is.
Because she has to fill it out. And some of them, depending on how your municipality works, she wouldn't necessarily know.
Okay. Are confidential and sensitive materials maintained separately from other records? Don't know. Okay.
Yes,
Are personnel records maintained for all employees? Don't know.
yes.
We know that these are. That these are yes, not no, or don't know. Is the town in compliance with state statutes regarding incompatible offices? That's also marked don't know, but we know that we are in
Yes.
compliance. Is there an ethics standard for town officials regarding conflicts of interest? And there is.
Yes.
That's marked don't know. Does the town have an employee manual? And that's marked yes, I'm
That's
sorry.
yes.
Are all deposit accounts with balances over the FDIC limit collateralized? Don't know. That would be one that we would hope the treasurer does know.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should find out that. Do we have any accounts that are over the FDIC
I don't
limit?
think so.
Okay. Be good though not to answer it. Don't know. Then we have two no's. Does the town have an investment policy for bank deposits and other investments? No.
I
Have,
think we actually do.
we probably don't have a lot of other investments.
No.
Have there been significant changes in the bank relationship? No. Okay, that's good. On the no side, does more than one town official or employee have access to view online banking? No, that's good. Are computers used by finance personnel accessible remotely? No, and that's good. Okay, that completes the list. And our action here is to approve this list of internal
So I
controls.
think that's wrong. I don't think we have to approve it.
Okay. But we have asked some questions, and if we could get those straightened out, that would be terrific.
Yeah.
There is a place that says we have to sign.
Yeah, you have to
It's the,
sign
select
only
chair.
to acknowledge receipt.
Motion to acknowledge receipt.
I make a motion to acknowledge it.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. On to the next piece. Town office building bond vote discussion. We received the email from Gary Katz.
Is it in the
That's
correspondence box?
correspondence.
You could just give it done now.
Oh, really?
Sure. Thanks.
Which one is it? It's in the correspondence.
Yeah. There might be other correspondence. That's Todd's box. No, that one's great.
Oh.
And then that one's for later.
Great. Over there. So we want to read Gary's request. Is that correct? Into the record?
Entirely up to the select board.
I would prefer not
I mean, you could summarize if
to.
you
Yeah,
wanted.
I think we could summarize without
Or you
reading
can
it.
read the whole thing. That's up to you.
I just received a disturbing email from Dennis Wiswall, and this is from Gary Katz, who is a former member of this board and is also chairman of this board at one time. It essentially said there would be only an up or down vote on the new building option. If that's the board's current thinking, it is very troubling. Wouldn't it serve the people better if there first was a vote to choose among the three options of the new building, renovated existing building, or continue with current approach, followed by a bond vote if the people so choose? The current thinking, if Dennis is correct, deprives the people of choosing among all the options. I am also extremely concerned that the new building option seems to be being pushed by the continuing complaints of the staff. These complaints have been studied over and over with the repeated conclusion that there is nothing in the building that differs from virtually any home in town. I understand wanting to accommodate the staff, to a reasonable extent, but committing the town to the most expensive new building option seems to neglect the people who would have to end up having to pay for it. Not only the current taxpayers, but also their children and grandchildren. Frankly, my view continues to be that nobody is endangered to the town. If an employee is uncomfortable working for the town for any reason, the employee can certainly make the decision to work elsewhere. Why would we even consider committing the taxpayers to a large bond obligation because of unsupported employee complaints? I think that if it comes to an up and down vote on building a new office, the voters will say no. But the real concern is that the voters should have the opportunity to express their concern on all of the options. As the voters' responsible representative, the board owes the people nothing less. Please do what you can to remind the board that they work for the voters and taxpayers and that those views should always trump any others. Thanks, Gary. Any discussion?
Oh, I think we did discuss this, and we had some of the meetings and stuff about having a three-way vote.
Yep, we did.
And it was determined between the lawyers and everybody else, the best way to do this was to do the vote on the bond for the new building.
Right.
Because one thing about it determines if they're gonna purchase the land or sell this place. Because if they don't vote for the new bond, then it'll either go back to see if they wanna do the addition and redo this building or
Right.
do nothing.
Yeah, I think that,
I mean, I think it's kinda clear, really.
yes, I think that we, as you've said, Mike, we've talked about this often at these meetings. And even though in the beginning it was a little confusing where people didn't understand why they couldn't vote for all three options, it became clear after the attorney for the select board wrote back and said that because we are actually voting for a bond and not voting to say if we would like to have a new building or not, that it would be very important just to have one vote at a time.
And this is from the bond attorney.
Yes.
So, and we let the record show that we've had 2 community meetings already, which were well attended and well spoken. We did listen to those people who came to those meetings, and those concerns were part of our deliberations. Let the record further show that tonight, on July the 18th, under the item Town Office Building Bond Vote, there's no one here to speak one way or the other for the bond vote. There will be another public hearing before that vote, coming up in early August, late July, and August 1st. And we encourage the public that if you have a concern about the new, or an opinion on the new town office building, you should come and express your views. We would love to hear from you. They are important to our decision making and also important to the process of voting for how we deal with our public buildings. So August the 1st, and then the bond vote on August the 9th. Any further on this?
Well, one of the other thing I've heard about the whole bond thing is everybody was carrying on about the school bonds and how much they were gonna be spending and, how many bonds can the town actually have? And it's been brought to our attention that the school bond is no longer gonna happen because the solar field, I guess, has gone south. People are not gonna put it in no more. And I would almost think, that we should either get a hold of the school board and have them give an explanation. They actually owe the explanation to all the towns because that was voted on. They talked people into it.
Right.
And now it's not gonna happen. People will think they're still gonna get that bond through and then they're gonna get this bond and the other bonds and pretty quick we're bonded out, And the school thing isn't, they're not going for a bond, because I believe we do have a letter from that, though, isn't we?
Yeah, it should be in there somewhere if you wanna share that.
But I would think, it'd be nice for the school board to share that with everybody instead of just.
And this is an email from Shannon to Ken Fadden, who is the Windham County Central Board. Dear Ken, the select board is wondering if the school board could give a short update on what's going on with the solar project. As we prepare to deal with this building, people are questioning how many bonds will be out and what the payment will do to their tax bills. We would love to have some information in order to work with the constraints we have. And that's from Shannon, representing us. And did we get a response back?
It should be up Is it above it?
on the top.
On the-
Yeah.
Hi Shannon, there is no bond on the solar project. The company we are contracted with, we are having legal difficulties with right now. One of the branches filed Chapter 11. We are discussing it with the school lawyer to see where we go from here. And that's from Ken. So that is obviously, it's still in deliberation on their side, so I think all we can do is, at this point, is wait and see what happens, but it does not sound like they're going to use their bond, which was voted and approved by the
Right.
taxpayers.
So in order to apply for a bond, you have to have a bond vote. So they
Correct.
got that
Right.
far, but they have not applied for the bond.
And the same pretty much applies to this vote.
Absolutely.
We're asking for $900,000 to be approved, but that does not mean that the project will cost $900,000.
Absolutely not.
We've also done research in having people be able to donate to the town through a 501c3 corporation that we could establish for the purpose of the building, the new office building, or converting this, or renovating this building. And so there will be a mechanism for people to contribute either time or money to building a new town building or to renovating this building. So we are doing everything we can to make sure the number that we ask for is going to be as low as possible. But because we cannot go back to the voters and ask for more money, the bond vote has to be for the maximum amount that we might potentially use. It doesn't mean we're going to use it. We're going to use as little of it as we possibly can. So we'd like for the voters to be well aware of that too. Anything further?
Yeah, I would like to say that it is my experience as an individual, as a member of the select board, and also in communicating with other select board members, that our concern is to impart information to the residents of Newfane and to encourage people to come to meetings and come to select board meetings and informational meetings, and not for us to try to withhold information or convince somebody to vote one way or another.
Exactly.
But to please come to meetings. And I have not had any experience myself or with hearing from anybody else that we are trying to convince the residents to do what we want. I certainly tell everybody who asks me, what do I think about this? I say the only thing I think is that you should come and vote and get information. And it's not my place to say what I think personally or try to encourage somebody. And if people don't come to these meetings and don't vote, those people have to understand that there's no complaining afterwards. I mean, you can complain, but the job is done. And I think that we're treating everybody very fairly and not trying to sway people one way or another.
We are willing to listen to anyone who wishes to come to us and express their opinion. In Mr. Katz's letter, there is some concern about the process, which also goes along with the vote itself. The process can't move forward unless the vote is in place. And so, there are other options that we can consider after the bond vote is in place. But we can't really do any of those things. It's kind of a backward process, unfortunately. But what the voters need to do is give permission to move to whatever we are going to do. And then we can begin to act on some of the things about which property, what kind of building, how much it's going to cost, and putting together voluntary boards who might want to work with us and nonprofit organizations who handle contributions. But the bond vote has to come first, and then the process sort of follows that. And we have followed the process, and we have listened to more than 50 voters who came out to the 2 public meetings, and hopefully more on August 1st.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, anything further?
I know that Gary's letter asked for a written response.
Response.
Okay. So we want to draft a response to his letter and get it back to him?
Sure.
Okay. You want to do that and get it around to us, and then we can?
Sure.
Okay. That'll be fine. But we do appreciate
Absolutely.
Mr. Cass's letter. We want to hear from more people. This is a very important decision for the
Yeah.
town, and we'd love to hear everyone's opinion.
Absolutely.
Anything further? We have any further correspondence?
Not on the town office building, just other correspondence.
Okay. This is from Tim Schaefer,
Correspondence anyway.
who is the town's health officer, Dr. Tim Schaefer. Dear Board of Health, so we will be acting now as the Board of Health. Following repeated complaints, I have revisited this property. On previous investigations, it was found to be the site of a trailer that was unfit for human habitation. This location is at 99D Dover Road in South Newfane. Parcel-
990. Should be 90.
990, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I have my glasses on, you'd think I'd be able to
You
see
want
it.
to
It's parcel number E111. There was a non-functioning septic system, surface sewage, and vast accumulations of household waste and general debris. The property was vacated and the owner instructed to remove all traces of the trailer and accumulated trash and debris. Upon re-inspection, it is evident that the trailer is partially demolished. Covering the trailer and virtually all of the surrounding property are piles of deconstruction debris, residential garbage, derelict furniture, etc. There is evidence of some burning of waste, including partially consumed or melted articles of trash. This represents an illegal and unsanitary dump. I urge the Board of Health to stipulate to the owner that this property must be 100% cleaned of all residual trash and debris down to bare ground within some realistic time period. There should be no further evidence of burning, burying, or otherwise disposal on this site. If the owner fails to comply, I recommend legal steps to be taken to allow the town of Newfane to assume the burden of cleanup, placing a lien against the property for the value of this service. Respectfully, Tim Schaefer, MD. Okay, so we need to consider this because this is, I think many of us are aware of the property in question.
A little bit of background real
Yes.
quick is that the owner of the trailer was not the owner of the land. So it became sort of odd how it happened, but the owner of the trailer applied for a zoning permit for the demolition of the trailer. A family member of the landowner tried to do that. So, because the actual owners of the land are elderly and they're not gonna be able to do anything. So he tried and he doesn't have the time or means to do it. Now the zoning permit has expired and it's unclear as to who would actually apply for that because it's no longer a trailer. So the owner of the trailer wouldn't really still be involved. And the person who's doing the demolishing doesn't own the land either. So it's a little confusing.
It is.
So I did forward that both to the zoning administrator for his information and the fire warden, since it talked about illegal burning as well.
Yep, the permit was issued in May of 2015.
Yeah.
But it sounds like we have a situation that is not tolerable. There's trash piled up on the property and lots of other problems pointed out by Dr. Schaefer, and that there needs to be a resolution. Do you have any discussion on what might be that resolution?
Now, who did you send the letters to?
I sent it to the zoning administrator and the fire warden, who's actually Todd.
All right. I mean, no, only thing you really can do is the landowner would have to be notified.
Right. And we have done it before where we have cleaned
Tell them,
something
you're
up
just gonna
and
have
then
to tell them it's
put a lien.
gonna be cleaned up. Either get after the people that owned it and have it done, or be further action taken, I guess, right?
I think the steps would be if
Who owns
given
the
a certain
property?
amount of time, they don't clean it up, then we clean it up and place the cost for doing that on their tax bill, a lien on their tax bill. So
On the
they pay it
property.
as,
Put it in the
right.
land records and then if they ever sell, they'd have to.
Or
the
they
lien.
can pay it off as part of their tax bill.
I don't think we can do that.
A lien?
No. A lien will go on the land records and sit there until they sell the property.
Right.
And then in order for it to have clean title, you would have to cure that lien.
Okay,
Yeah.
but they could probably pay the lien down.
Although, didn't we, I think we've done it before, and then we went to small claims court, and they issued a judgment, and they had to make regular payments on it,
Right.
which might be a
That may
better
be,
way.
that may be something the landowner can do if they're not physically able to do this themselves, but it still has to be done.
Yeah.
So I think the important thing is to think about how much time we can give to this project before the next step is taken.
Well, obviously you want it done before winter, so.
Had he reapplied, or somebody reapplied for the zoning, he would have had another year to do it, but it expired.
30 days?
Yeah.
Motion, Chair would entertain a motion for 30 days.
Is that too short?
It probably won't get done, but
Yeah.
But it does set a milestone.
Well, I mean, the whole
for
thing
us.
is, it gives you that amount of time, because like, if you gotta clean it yourself and do everything else, 30 days from now is looking at the end of August, middle of August. Then you bring it back into the attentions, and then it's out another month before you get a chance to do anything again, which is into September, pretty quick, you're almost winter. So like I said, if you gotta clean it up before winter, you gotta,
Yeah.
right.
How about saying by the end of August, which gives at least a little more than 30 days?
So
You want to set it
specific.
at a date certain? The August 31st?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to put that in the
Is
motion?
that okay, Mike?
yeah.
And you're sending it to the landowner?
They're the only person who really can send it to.
I think so, because it's not a trailer
Right.
anymore.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it would have to be the landowner.
okay.
Does this landowner live nearby or is it far away?
No, it's an elderly woman that lives
Oh,
up
that's,
north.
She lives there.
She lives up north.
Entertain a motion for the date of August 31st for performance before it comes back before us.
okay, I make a motion that we say that the deadline would be August 31st.
2015,
2016.
2016, that's right. Permit was issued in 2016.
Yeah.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, third. Okay, it carries. So you'll get the letter out?
I'll send it out.
Okay, great.
And what I might do is copy her, it's either her son or grandson, just so he's aware.
That
Because
would
he was
be
the one
important.
trying to help her. so.
Yeah.
Then you'll also send that back to Dr. Schaefer too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think also it's important for these people to understand that they should communicate with you.
Right.
You know, that's the least of it, is to communicate with you.
Right.
The best way to
Rather
keep
than
us,
ignoring it.
exactly, the best way to keep us off their back is to
Right.
talk to you and
Right.
make sure we're kept apprised.
Yeah,
We don't want to be a burden on any
No,
property owner.
absolutely
But at the
not.
same time, we do
No,
have to
it's-
protect the public's interest.
communication.
Yep.
is the important thing.
Is there anything further?
Nope.
Pay orders?
Yay.
Marion is as usually overly excited about pay orders.
Oh, yeah, I just love payroll.
Okay,
Good.
thank you.
Thank you so much.